Remember them. So as I said in the previous video, I'm going to use this Filofax to record the journey. This is going to be exclusively for this decanic journey. So this is the Filofax. I got it in a sale actually. And I thought I'd use a Filofax for two reasons. One, I can take it with me if I'm maybe in a coffee shop or whatever, and I'll get some ideas I can jot down in it. And Filofax actually do lined paper, so it's sort of top. I've been using this a while actually. It's top where you can rip it off at the top, but you can also just get lined A5 paper or any sort of A5 paper. I've got a Filofax punch, so I can actually just punch holes into that and save a bit of money, because in all honesty, Filofax paper is not cheap. So if I'm using a lot, or intend to use a lot, then it's going to work out a rather expensive way of doing it. So anyway, this one, I love the colours here, the brown and the blue together, gorgeous. It's got like a pocket here. I turn it over, it's actually got a zip here. It's just a press stud. What is it? Let's have a little look. It's called Napa. Yeah, and they had these on sale a while ago, so I thought, yep, I'll take one of those, thank you very much. So anyway, I'll just quickly go through. You get a ruler divider, so you can actually just take that off like that and put it wherever you want. And then it comes with dividers here, so I could assign those to various aspects. So maybe one for astrology, one for the tree of life, Kabbalah. As you can see, it's still got, it's got the 2021 vertical planner in here, which I was using. Originally I was using this for my Open University, but yeah, I shall take that one out, I think, and maybe get the current year. Mind you, we're at the end of the current year, aren't we? So that might be a bit of a waste of money. I don't have to think about that. So yeah, that's how they come, with years at a glance. So obviously totally out of date. Notes pages, which are blank. No good to people like me who write very wonkily. Personal information, festivals, notable dates, national information. Dotted pages available now in range of plain and pastel colours. Ooh, that might be nice. So yeah, the things that they sell. And then we've got, I like these. I do like these layouts. I mean, I can repurpose this really and just, you know, sticker over the dates. Might be a way of doing it, and just record what I've done on those dates. So yeah, maybe reutilize those. Some more notes pages here. This is something I did a while ago. In Tarot 101 book, there's a daily draw list of things you can do with your daily draws. So I thought that was really cool. I'll just zoom in there, and you're not going to read my writing, are you? My writing's dreadful. But anyway, first thoughts and impressions. Any symbols or images that stand out for you, how the card makes you feel, how it relates to today's plans, what happened today, relating to who you wish to be today or how you would have liked to have been, indicators of people in your life, physical, emotional feelings, mental thoughts, ideas, plans, social, relationships, community, spiritual, inner sense of self. Use the 5 senses for journeying, so sight, imagery, colours, scenes, facial expressions, symbols, items. Sound, what you can hear or not hear. Smell, pleasant, strong, desirable, disgusting. Touch, physical feelings, rough, snuggly, refreshing, fizzy, squishy. Hold the character's hand. Taste, food, fruit in the image, sea salt, earth, veg, grass. Yeah. So those are some ideas to work with the daily drawer, to just triggering phrases that you can use. So I thought that was quite good, so I put that in there. So yeah, so maybe have a section for daily drawers. I don't know. Label the tabs with a permanent marker. It says there to do. Oh, hopefully got a lot of those pages. And then we've got the pretty ones, pastel colours, aren't they gorgeous? And then here is a folder. So maybe it might be nice to actually place the card in the folder. And at the back we've got a couple of pockets here, a large one. Oh, it's one large one. There we go. Oh, another ruler. I think I got that from another one. Some of these Filofaxes get a big pocket at the back. Has this one got one? No, not in this version. So yeah, that's the Filofax I'm going to use for this deck study. Decanic, it's not deck study, doof. The Decanic journey. So there we go. I'd like to show you my original Thoth deck, which I bought probably late 80s, early 90s, and it's quite a special deck actually. And you might have gathered that I do knit. This here, one of my creations, and so is this tarot bag, and I put some buttons on it and a pattern on it on the front. It's just plain stitch on the back, and the buttons are pretty. And underneath buttons I just put press studs, so they're not actual buttons, if you know what I mean. They're decorative, so I just put little press studs there to close it. So it's a pouch, and in the pouch we have my Thoth deck. So put that to one side, and let's just have a little look at what my Thoth deck's all about. Okay, there we go. I do believe it's what they call a greenie. In other words, it's got this green tinged border. Now, it is one of the first decks I bought with a system, you know, when I started to get to know what tarot was about, the Rider-Waite-Smith and the Thoth systems. So I bought the Thoth, and I was so excited to use this. I loved the images, they're beautiful images, but could I read with it? Nope. And now looking back, it's hardly surprising because of all the layers of meanings within the cards and the esoteric symbolism and everything that goes with it that I've learned since. So I didn't stand a chance, really. This is the original guidebook. So let's look at the dates. Copyright 1978 and 1983. So yeah, it is old. And it didn't help looking through this book. It didn't help me because, as you can see, very small sections on the meanings of the cards. So as a newbie, I had no chance, really. The origin of the tarot is unknown, but in all probability it was introduced into the Mediterranean basin not later than the end of the 14th century. We have existing packs in the 15th century, so a little bit of history. The trumps, I mean, When you've studied the Thoth a bit with other resources, you realise just how lacking this information is. But there we go. So that was the book that came with it. That to one side, and yeah, this is the Greenie. So we all know the Thoth deck, don't we? I don't really need to go through it. But what I've done is I've invested in this one, which is basically an updated version for our times, the Millennium Thoth. I haven't opened it yet, so I'll open it in a minute. The other thing I wanted to show actually is a couple of other things I've got. And these two tiny decks here. One is a Rider-Waite and one is a Crowley Thoth tarot. The complete tarot kit. Everything beginners need to start their tarot journey. It's an old one, this as well. US Games. But the reason I got this obviously was because of these two tiny decks, which is going to be more portable and easier to use than the larger versions, and I can go to the larger versions when I need. So in this you got a very basic book. It is really quite basic, but you know, it's a good starting off point. And a fold out spread, the woven spread. What to strive for. It's just a spread on a piece of paper, and then you get this fold out thing that I think you make it into like a stand up, one side Thoth and the other side Rider-Waite. All very good. So that's what you get in the box. That's 245 pages long. Yeah. So I thought, well, I'll use the little tarot decks there to put in my Filofax when I'm out and about. Because they're nice and small. I mean, if you compare that to that, there's quite a bit of difference. But enough for me to remind me of the card when I've, you know, I don't want to be carrying around massive ones. So going back to the study, I've made a list of decks that are Thoth based that I might like to work with alongside this. So the ones I've researched that I could utilise are the Tabula Mundi and the Rosetta, as I mentioned those in the introduction. And Grow Yourself, which is a tarot and oracle deck. That's a really interesting one I've got. The Liberty, which hasn't really got much of a guidebook, but it is Thoth based. The Zillick, which I've got in a tin. Spirit Keeper's Tarot, which I'm very fortunate to have a copy of. I've got the Revelation edition, and that's a whole learning curve in itself, so I'm not sure about that. The Guild Tarot, I haven't got the guidebook to that, which I'd really like, but it's going for silly money. The Thoth Journey Tarot, I've got that one. The New Era Elements. The Urban Tarot, I don't have the Urban Tarot, but I've got it as an app on the Fool's Dog app, so I can use it there. Cosmic Tribe, I've got that one. Handel Tarot, gosh, I've had that for years, that Handel Tarot. The Hardy Tarot, the Sun and Moon, that one's I've got in a tin, and I've also got the full-size version. The Marielle. The Star Tarot. And another one I haven't got, which is the Asherah. I think that's how it's pronounced. And Lisa Papez did a walkthrough, and I think she studied the Thoth using that Asherah Tarot, but it's not one I've got all, and I'm not really able to get it because it's an American producer, and as we all know, they're out of my remit at the moment with the soaring costs. So anyway, I thought what I'll do today is compare this Millennium Thoth with the original. And I thought, I might as well video it. So let's have a little look. Right, so we've got it's a lift off the top box. It's nice. It's a low Scarabeo deck. So I'm not got high hopes for the guidebook because they're usually in at least 4 different languages. Let's have a look. Yep, different languages. So how much have we got on the in English? Let's have a look. No, that's French. 58 pages. 58 pages of meanings. Oh, I could have looked there, couldn't I? Would have told me. The book is by Jamie Alford. Yes, great writer. And the artwork and concept and design, Renato Lechner. I think that's how you say it. And it was 2019 this one came out. So that's a little book. I shall read that this afternoon. Let's undo the cards. Okay, so there's going to be shadows, I'm afraid. Lack of sun. But yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it? That's obviously the High Priestess. Yep. Title card. So let's have a little look at the differences. There's probably loads of these videos. I'm just quite interested to see for myself. I haven't looked at other videos. I've just seen a couple of the pictures online and thought, oh, I'm quite interested in that. So it's very slidey, slippy cardstock. Nothing like my original. Very bright, vibrant colours. I found when I first got this, although I absolutely love the images, I found them quite dark and difficult to see the details, even though they're so big. So yeah, that was an issue. So maybe it just brings some of the key elements to life that were intended. So I am looking at, let's have a little look. Are these in order? I might not have them in order. We'll see as we go, shall we? Okay, so here we go. Majors. The Fool. Sorry, the Fool. Believe this to be Hermes. Priestess. So we've got High Priestess here, where it's just Priestess on the original. This was always difficult. I could never see her. But this brings it out, doesn't it? You can tell that she's sitting down and she has like a net in front of her. Camel. The Empress. A bit more realistic, aren't they, these Millennium? Because the abstract concepts, the way it's drawn in the original. But here, we've got a personality almost, haven't we? So yeah, they're keeping the elements there. They're keeping all the, the different parts that are in the original. That you can see. All there. Everything's there. It's just clearer. So this is really going to help, I think. Yes, much, much clearer. You've got the number on the bottom as opposed to on the top. See, as beautiful as these images are, there's so much going on. It's really difficult to hone in and see everything that's there. You know, that's why you need a guidebook, isn't it, to show you, oh, there's this, there's this, there's this. Oh, is there? Where? And then you have to sort of look for it. All part of the fun, though, hey? This is a really good reworking of this deck. I prefer that. I much prefer that. It's always been one of my favourite death cards, actually, if you can have a favourite death. But that's always been quite striking. Yeah, I much prefer this one. Replace the goat. Wow. I would imagine that's a very difficult pose to emulate. That's why this one's facing this way. That's quite dark, isn't it? Oh, yes, it's the moon card, but he's quite losing the details in there. Stick it together a bit. That's a little different. The goddess this is the goddess Nuit, N-U-I-T, however you pronounce that. This arching figure here. And it's not on this one. There's a face, certainly, but the goddess is not there. And neither is this Egyptian figure here. Actually, all the okay, I remember this card. There's 3 figures, look. 1, 2, 3. And they're not featuring really on this card. That's interesting. Okay. My 2 favourite cards in the Thoth deck are this one, and I think it's for the colours really, and a very similar image, which is the Princess of Wands. I love that. They're grabbing the tiger by the tail. Love that image. Okay, let's go on to the... Shall we go wands? This has started with cups. Let's find the wands. Okay. They're all a bit stuck together at the moment. Let's separate those. Right. Wands. We've still got the fiery energy there, but the yods aren't as apparent. I'm going to have to use both decks together, but so we've got the planet there, the sun. Don't see it on here, and I don't, although there's Aries, the ram there, I don't actually see a glyph for Aries. Sticking together. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely missing, isn't it? Oh, we've got it there. Okay. The other thing I'm noticing as well, keywords, we always have the keywords with the original. So here we've got the 5 of Wands as strife. There's no keyword there, it just says 5 of Wands. That's a shame. Well, that's interesting. We've got the same on the top here, the same motifs. But on the bottom, she's made these into actual arrows, whereas they're not on the original. So we've got them here. We've got Sagittarius and is that Jupiter? Please, oh, please forgive. I'm not the glyph. The planet glyphs is something I've actually got to get into my head. I always have to reference tables for that. But yeah, I'll get there. This is my birth card. This relates to my actual birthday. 9 of Wands. I used to have a print of this. I printed it out. I used to have a print of this on the wall for years, giving me valour and strength when I needed it. There she is, Princess of Wands. Gosh, I love that print. That's never going to replace that. I absolutely love this card. I always think, grab the tiger by the tail. And that was, it was a strapline for Esso, the petrol company, when I was a girl. And I used to work delivering petrol, so yeah, I have an association. Okay, we're going in a different order here. Why have I put them in a different order? Okay. This queen isn't as high up as this one. We're really looking up at her. She's got dominion over us, whereas this one, not so much. More at eye level. I think there's more of a sense of speed with this card than there is with this one. Okay, cups. Here the dolphins are entwined there. They're making like a heart shape. The lotus is a lot more prominent. It's at the front of the card with the cups behind it, and this is the other way around. Got the glyphs there. And here we've got the glyphs. So with this step, we're going to have to memorise the actual keywords that are on the original, unless you use them together. So here is the Seven of Cups, which is the card, the first card I'm looking at in the Deacon journey. And yes, you can see it is quite a problematic card, which I'll go into in the next part of the video or the next video, however I upload them. I might make some more notes before doing that. So this is the card for the next 10 days. Debauch. Always found this one really difficult to actually see. It's the angle, isn't it? It's the way she's at that angle. It was always like, what's going on? But we don't have that angle here, although we do have the same sort of motifs here. We've got a sea creature here. It's an actual dolphin. Powerful image. Reminds me of the chariot with the wheels there. Look. This one got wheels? Yeah, there's the wheels. Holding the flower. Again, very, very difficult to see this card. Wouldn't it be amazing to actually see the original paintings, you know, massive paintings? Wonder where they are. We've got the knight going in an opposite direction. Interesting. It's more apparent this is a peacock than it is here. Sort of like the feathers get lost in this wing motif. Where are we going now? Pentacles. Okay. Done this in a very strange order, but we'll go with it. So we've got a sun and a moon there. We've got yin and yang here. It's a different take. And they've put elements, the elements around the edge, which don't appear in this one as far as I can see. So some additions, some subtractions, some additions. That's a lot more accessible. I remember looking at this card for ages and trying to figure out actually what I was looking at. It wasn't apparent to me that it was a bridge into a structure, whereas here it's obviously that. Different glyph. That's the same, but that's a different glyph. That's Capricorn. I don't know what that is. Maintain the tree of life shape. Okay, finally, onto the Suit of Swords. That's taken away a little bit from what I understand this Six of Swords. This background here is supposed to be instructions on how to do sword maneuvers when they do fencing. So it's like a map of the dance that you do with a fencing sword, apparently, which obviously we don't get here. It's light emanating there. But that's the whole, so the science of sword play, the science of fencing. Different motif altogether on the back there, in the background. All this sacred geometry that Lady Frida put in the cards is missing from this deck. But then I suppose that's what makes it it's such a busy deck and hard to discern what you're looking at, Whereas this makes it, obviously making it a lot clearer. I think it would have been nice if they'd included the keyword on the card. Oh, it's my one gripe. Look at that broken sword there. Going through the heart there, whereas it's going through the heart there, and the broken sword is there. But yeah, she's lost a lot of the sacred geometry. That's gone. The most notable difference I'm seeing is in the court cards. Let's bring the Queen here. I think I've gone a little bit out of sequence here. Okay, there's the Prince. Prince of Swords. And the Knight of Swords. I think we saw the Queen, didn't we? I mean, the helicopter wings and the speed that the Knight of Swords travelling there is very apparent. Not so much there. I mean, he's above, he's in the clouds because there's birds underneath. I think I like the angles in the court cards. a lot more than I do in this deck, in this Millennium Thoth. You know, the Queen, she's right up there in the clouds in this deck. Where is she in this one? Yeah, she's up in the clouds, but I don't know, it's the foreshortening in the drawing here is very effective, I think. And it's in all the Queens, isn't it? Apart from one. Okay, I like the clarity in these cards. I like the fact that they're bright and I can see what I'm looking at. I like them. I've just got those couple of gripes. One, the sacred geometries seems to have gone. The glyphs look hit and miss. And the keywords have gone. So I think, you know, working alongside the original, that'll be fine. But trying to do it on your own with that deck is going to have a little bit, I don't know, take away a little bit of the essence of the deck, I think. And the intention between the intention of the original deck. But that's my little first walkthrough of that deck, and I'm going to read the guidebook next. So yeah, thank you for joining me on the walkthrough. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next part of the Deacon journey. As I say, I'm going to actually compare the original, compare the original with other decks and see the layers of meaning that brings up. This one I don't think will bring extra layers of meaning because it is this deck. It's this deck modernised, isn't it? So I thought I'd start with that one since I've just bought it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.